What's up, everybody? It's Fran Trades, Francesco. Today I am going to go over earnings. I'm going to go over how I take an earnings trade, the risk involved in taking earnings trades, how I plan an earnings trade, all of that. So let's get straight into it. So I want to start with, what I begin with. So I pull up my template. I'm gonna leave this in the description below. Um, you know, it's pretty much before trade is setting up the trade. Stock name Nike, earnings play, sector the stock. That's super important. I really don't like to play XOY, but I do anyway. Risk reward is after setup. You get the gist. Grade is very important. This will come after. ATR is average trading range. How to figure that out? You go here. I have the plugin. If you are serious about this and want me to share this to you and this as well, I will give that to you. So ATR is the average trading range, $4. As you can see, I had it marked out here. Full ATR move, full time frame continuity, all the time frames, because the trade was this day. All time frames were red, and then we keep going. Average volume. Oh, this isn't it. Average volume 8 mil shares a day. Institutional ownership. That's something I use, but not really for earnings plays too much. And then you want to go into the report of the earnings. So this ain't it. The report of the earnings is pretty much this. An earnings report is how much, it really is what it really says is how much, the stock earns or loses. You got revenue, net income, profit margin, cost of revenue. As you can see, there's a lot of red and there's some green here. Revenue's up for sure. Cost of revenue is up, which is definitely not good. And then if you want to dive deeper into the news, and if you come here and go a little bit deeper, you'll see that that despite inflation in the U.S. and COVID lockdowns in China, this is why the overall sentiment was bearish, because the government in China, when they see any sort of COVID, anything like that, they automatically just shut down the country. They don't give a fuck. They just shut that shit down. No more going out, going to Nike, going to Adidas, going to Louis, going to the mall. Fuck that. You're getting shut down. You're in the crib. Therefore, people aren't going to Nike and copping shoes, And then you got inflation. And just the cost of everything is high. Like, you would rather, eat than you would put shoes on your feet. So, we go into that. You have all that. The earnings is actually a beat, but the trend is actually, is down because of China. Again, the actual trend of price action is down. We're down about 40% off the highs. The market, you go into the actual market, that was the 27th. We were pretty flat, but we were still red for the day. Overall, just red. And yeah, so I had planned my risk reward beforehand. I analyzed the contract. I got the 107 puts. I wanted to be in the money fast, quick, already even in the money. So what's it called? I took an entry short right here. If you go into the 15, it was like the 15 and the 5 minute is when I really entered. It was right here off the symmetrical triangle break with weakness. This wasn't a high conviction trade for bulls, so I took this to the short side and really liked this. I really liked when I saw that this failed at my entry. Shooter 2-2 reversal to test this low of the 3. Once this 3 broken, we get this ATR move. You could see how we bounced off the full ATR move, average trading range move, right here. A great bounce, great bounce, and we start breaking through. Once we're through this, the trade is just it's free. You know, you're pretty much just watching the tape to see more downside. So the day finished pretty red, and I was like, you know, the odds of this having a follow through day tomorrow are pretty high. I didn't take any profits at all. I had targets right here. You know, I wanted this block order to be taken out. Um, and yeah, it got taken out. Um, so, you know, I was coming here, filling out my thing. The time frame continuity is in my direction. The news is bad overall. My risk reward was placed out. It was a 4-to-1 risk to reward, which was quite amazing. The stock is not in demand right now. They're taking money out of their own pockets. You can tell by the earnings report that with the cash in hand was like 1,600%. Oh, not yeah, yeah. Net change in cash. That means they're moving cash, which is not good for a business. Um, for them themselves, that's probably a lot. You know, that's probably good for them because they may be investing in new products or assets. But you know, as an investor, you probably don't want that. You probably want them to sit tight for a little bit right now. Um, you know, the stock was profitable, but you know, Nike has to really blow earnings. You know, they're the biggest shoe company in the world, and anything less than greatness with Nike is going to be bad. You know, you really want to be confident. It was my trade confidence high. Yes, it was. And then I really like to go into time frame continuity. I want to follow the trend, create if then statements. If this isn't it. If this symmetrical triangle, as you can see, this is a triangle. We call it a symmetrical triangle. If this breaks to the downside, I will enter. You know, and I got what I wanted. So you want to be creating those if-then statements. And then overall, the most important thing I think for earnings trade is theme, setup, trade. Bad earnings lockdown in China equals less money spent at Nike. Bad setup, symmetrical triangle. Opening drive, weakness in market. So, you know, we were seeing a lot of weakness in the market. A lot of weakness in the market. So, you know, I really got that confidence to play it to the short side. Again, I'm still in the puts. Actually, I took a lot of profit like around here. I took some off here as well. But I'm still in them. I really want more downside. I really think this could bleed for a while. If you go into this monthly, you know, we just started the new month. The odds that we go 2 down on the month are pretty high. And then my next target would be like maybe like around 96, and maybe I'll look to sell if there is demand showing on the daily. Um, and yeah, so remember, I'm gonna put this in the what's it called in the description below. So let's go over it one last time. You want to find stocks that have a news catalyst. You know, every trade should really be theme setup trade. Theme setup trade. It can also be setup trigger exit. If you don't have a news catalyst and you just like the setup, you can use this one as well. But I really like theme setup trade. If this happens and this is the setup, I will trade right here. I will enter. And then how to find stocks with earnings, bro, just look it up. You know, stocks with earnings tomorrow. And then I'm gonna go into the strategy in a little bit. You know, you could which one I really like is earnings calendar is really good. Earnings whisper is it. Micron, that's one I'm looking at to trade tomorrow. Um So let's get into that one as well. That's a trade idea that I have for tomorrow. I already read the report. The report wasn't great. So look, if I'm looking at trading it tomorrow, this is how I would do it. Micron earnings. As you can see, I already looked it up. We'll go right back to it. Micron is a chip, computer and phone chip creator. The revenue was great. Net income was great. Diluted, bro. Numbers were fire, and still weak revenue guidance. Weak outlook on sparks of concern chip down cycle. Weakening consumer demand will hurt smartphones. It's crazy because in this market, even if you have good earnings, you still may see downside. So again, I'm looking, here. As you can see, the targets are already out here for you. This is easy. My first target will obviously be this low target where I would like to see an entry, probably right here. I would definitely take like a soft entry, unless we're completely puking. Then I can go in like the smaller time frame. And yeah, I really like that entry. As you can see, we get another one of those triangle type of things, symmetrical triangles. We're already at this ADR. Remember that that's the average. The ADR and the ATR are two different things. So if we open at 55.28, get your calculator. I actually pull it up here. You always want to target ATR. So say we open at 55.28, which is what we closed at. Then you subtract 268, 52, 6. That'll be one of our targets. Then you want to go here, full ATR move. Already, that's the strategy. You want to have this full, you want to have the ATR in your direction. You want these targets to be in your direction as well. Look, you want to target here, the low. You want to be taking out lows when you're trading to the short side. Target, you want this to be take out. You could put it in a different text and a different color, different size. You want to be, looking at patterns as well. Look, we're seeing, some squeezing on the daily right here. Look how the volume is starting to incline. Then you go, what's another one? Another one that I traded today, which was really, really nice. I made about $100 on that. Was AMD on a downtrend. Look at its, brother, NVIDIA. Looks pretty bearish as well, downtrend. So, you get the gist of this. You want to be filling it out. You want to be, constantly here. This is where I make the money, is when I'm here, filling out, creating plans, doing that. And then you want to target this full ATR. When you're actually trading this, you want to target the lows, the full ATR, and you want to be watching the time and sales. So someone had asked me a question on Snapchat about what stocks should I trade, or how to find the stocks that I trade. So you want to go just here and you want to type in stocks with earnings, and you want to focus on just that. Create a small account. Maybe put $200-300 in there. You could even play with 100. You can buy options. They're gonna be a little bit out of the money. So I'd say if you can put 500 plus, but you can definitely start with $200-300. And just be ready to risk it all. I mean, you don't want to risk all of it in one trade, but have that so you can play around with, take a bet, take a risk. Again, this is how I find stocks. I like to trade stocks with earnings. That's a great way to start if you're just starting. You want to be finding risk to reward trades as well, trades that are good, trades that are in your favor. So as you can see, I had, if you see this little box thing right here, the red is from my entry to my stop loss. That's my risk. So I risked about $1.16 to make about $4 from my entry to like the exit that I had. Um, I risked about $4. So, if it was, if I risked $10,000, I would make 40K. If I risked, $10 million, I would make, 40 mil. So the numbers all are, they're in sync. Of course, it's going to be a lot different trading, thousands and thousands of dollars compared to hundreds, especially if you're new. But yeah, you want to be finding stocks with news catalysts like this because you get big movements like this. You get big movements like this, downside, even upsides. You can trade this upside. I actually took a second entry like around here because I was adding short, so I was bringing down my entry, averaging up on my puts, but bringing down my entry. So I was down here. I was actually, you know, I was down a decent amount of money, maybe like $200-300. But I didn't panic because I saw that we had created supply here, and we weren't really breaking above, and I would have looked to take size off it if we were above that. Um, Obviously, this is a really good entry, and not every entry is going to be like that. But yeah, again, find stocks that have news. Another one is CCL. That's one that I traded really well today. Um, I took profit right here. I took profit damn near at the bottom. I made about $200 on this trade flat. Actually, it was a fantastic trade. Um, it was something about a fight and that they're in like extreme debt or something like that. Um, I really just like the setup because they're just getting absolutely murdered. Absolutely just murdered. Look at that gap down right there. Um, but yeah, find stocks with news catalysts and keep that stop tight. Um, Go with the trend of the earnings and then just understand what the price is doing. If the price is falling, you want to be focusing on, where can I get short? If price is just continuously making lows, where can I get short? Where can I see more downside? Where can I catch this downside move? I want to see downside. I want to see downside. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Um, I really, you really want to be focusing on risk as well and take profits as well. When I didn't take profits here, I was pretty pissed at myself. I was actually sleeping at the open and opened up at like, I woke up at like 9:50 and saw this and I was like, fuck. But take profits too because that's something that I struggle with. Um, and yeah, always plan your trades. I'm gonna drop this earnings template without this, and if you really want to, if you want to wake up at 9:30 in the morning with me tomorrow, I'm really gonna try to trade the MU. Maybe even if it isn't the cleanest setup, I think I'll take it just to show you guys, and I'll do a live trade, and I'll show you guys really how I do it. Um, and yeah, so thank you guys. That's how to trade earnings. If you have any questions on stock selection, on risk, on where to put your profit targets, as I said, remember you want to put your profit targets at ATR and ADR as well, which is this black thing. Um, and psychological numbers, as you can see, we bounced damn near right here off $100. Um, and yeah. Thank you guys, and hit me with any questions if you have.